Uh, Yesterday, the topic was quite disparate. It varied from what you call data modeling. Then we also had what you call the NatCat and flood and many things. And today, the floor is all about agriculture. So between these two topics, where does IT fit in? So this is where I have about 10 minutes of time here. Angie took away the rest of the 10 minutes. So in this 10 minutes, I'll cover as much as possible and let you know what NTT data offers you in this insurance vertical. And back here, if you look at it, we are into every single area here, whether it's life, P&C, concerning the agents, brokers, and of course the reinsurers. We have a solution for all of these. Let me go to the next slide because some of these things have been covered by Angie. And here we are. All of these things, what you see here, are today's talk. Everyone has been talking about cloud, telematics, the channels, analytics, mobility, and of course, all of this means digital transformation from today's traditional world to a new world, which is digital. So this is the topic for today. And how are we gearing up? Are we prepared? As insurers, are we prepared? As NTT data, we are prepared, and we have the solution and the offerings for all of you. A bit of animation there. And then we look at this, three things. When we look at digitization, there are three areas which we think are important to consider. The first thing is the customer experience, business modeling, then the operational process modeling. So all of these three are important from a perspective of digitization. How did we go about this? First thing is the business modeling. The kind of requirement that we have here from the point of view of digitization is to share the content and information across the organization. Does this happen today? Now, there's a need for one single integrated system. Today, we have been living in a legacy systems, people holding on to their legacy systems like it was mine and it's nobody else's. And the systems to represent your operations. So similarly, we also have the pressure coming from pricing, which means there is a need for quick pricing, quick marketing of your products. Same way, you need innovative and digital products to market, business and IT integration, all of this and more. I won't speak on all of these items, but nevertheless, all of this make for a business model requirements which needs digitization. The next part is operational process requirements. This again goes through, I'm sorry, this is pace of IT. I'll have to go back to the previous, yeah, perfect. And here we have the process of digitization, the information sharing, enhanced automation, and then the enterprise-wide collaboration. And of course, there are a lot of things in between. There is something where you are automating the process, which means some of your approvals has to go electronically. So all of this is part of operational process requirements. It's not necessarily it's exhaustive, but it's good enough to consider for digitization. Now we have the next part, the customer experience requirements. Back in the past, many of us are used to using the legacy systems, the green screens. Today, there's a need, there's a demand from your internal users saying, these green screens are monotonous, they simply bore me. We need to change our perception of what these old screens would offer. There is pressure from your external agencies, your brokers, your agents. They are demanding for fast-paced reactive systems. You also have the consumers demanding for a lot more. They wanted a quick response to whatever they want to buy. They want to buy directly. They don't need an intermediary. So all of this pressure is mounting on you. And back here, we have the legacy system. We have the legacy people holding on to the old systems and not let going. And then there is today's generation, which is half the time of their life they spend on mobiles. We text, we tweet, right? This is how it goes. So what we have done is, basically we said, let's build a wonderful system, which means we have been in the market for the last 30, 35 years now. We knew the legacy. From the legacy, we are transforming into a digital situation. Now we said, okay, let's pick up certain things. We need to offer a wonderful user interface, a good experience for the user. We could collect information, combine it, and make sure that you get a good presentation layer. The next part was, let's also bring in something, the enterprise portal, which means anyone, any good user who logs into the system, he would like to do certain things of his own. He needs to have and configure his own dashboard. He has a lot of things to do, the list of things to do, his calendar, his chat sessions, every other thing. So we figured out what should go into this. We've done that. The next one is the screen wizard, a little bit of configuring your own screen. We don't want to offer you a standard screen and say, this is how your screens look, and all of you, whether you like it or not, please use it. That's not the mantra. We need to have a screen for each one of you, depending on what you do. You can customize, you can configure your own screens. And this is the power of the products that we have been bringing to table. Then we have the channel portal. And this channel portal, of course, catering to the B2C and the B2B consumers. All right? So much on the digital transformation. And of course, not to say the least here, while you have internal pressures, you have your external pressures from the point of view of your brokers and your consumers, you also have the regulatories knocking at your door. How many of your reports and how much of your information gets transmitted to the regulatories on time? You need a good integration layer. We have built that. And that's the NIP part of it. So this is how we have done a bit of digital transformation. Now, coming to the complete suite of solution for the insurance market, we have the first gen, which is for the P&C class, a complete solution which starts from the quote until the general ledger, which means it has the claims, it has the reinsurance, it has the ARAP. Same goes with First Life. This is purely for the life insurance market. And the first three for reinsurers. In addition, we have gone about digitization. And this is exactly where NCP, NIP, and the NEP, which I just explained in the screens or the slides behind. They all form a complete suite for the insurance market today. And in addition to that, we have a lot of other things which can supplement this. They can supplement and perhaps complement. This makes a total solution. A little bit of market challenges. I don't have to explain this because all of you are professional insurers. You know it, you're feeling it. Some of the features here is, there are some core features from the NCP, which is the channel portal perspective. There are non-core features, and there are some technical features as well. It has to be because it's IT. All right? Starting from the quotation process until the premium collection, all of this can go onto the portals, the channel portals. It caters to the B2C. It caters again to the B2B, I repeat again. Similarly, the non-core, but still essential, the broker or the consumer would like to know some of his information on the portal, not necessarily insurance, a little beyond insurance. Today, insurance companies are not just selling insurance, they are selling insurance plus plus. I mean, you can imagine what the plus is. I'll leave it to you. So this is an overall view of the NCP portal, which can now serve the consumer over a mobile device, a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop, any of this, and more. And it could do everything, what I explained in the previous screens. A few of the functionalities, it kind of helps in enhancing the self-servicing of a policy. Claims processing, not necessarily complete, at least the initial part of the claims processing, the FNOL, and something more. The buying experience, I mean, any consumer going onto the website, would he feel to buy a product until and unless he feels this website is attractive, this application seems to be interactive. All right? So some of this, the same thing goes with this, with the B2B functionalities. And next is the management, which means it is not just that we allow the portal to act on its own. You have the choice of configuring and kind of personalizing, kind of white labeling it. And that's available as part of configurability. And all the products and product suite here are highly configurable, which means you don't depend on a programmer. You don't need a legacy guy holding on to the system. You can be modern. If you have the business acumen, you configure, you start the process. All right, here we go. So this is how it goes, the NCP configuration, and a small look and feel of the portal. Not necessarily the best, but it can be improved each day, depending on what's the need of the hour and the customer perspective. This is just a look and feel of that. Now, on the enterprise portal. This is a little depiction of a solution overview. I wouldn't like to go too deep into this. I'll just take you to the screens, a look and feel of these screens, starting from the color to seeing every single widget and every single transactional information available on the screen can be configured, which means the broker or the consumer is appealed to start using this application. In a way, you're attracting business. In a way, your acquisition cost could come down. The broker's demand is a lot more, more demanding these days. These things could help you in meeting those demands. And these are some of those widgets, your calendar, your messages or messaging, and your mails can also be seen on one single screen. So this is what today's consumer wants. And this, again, is not restricted to one line of business. It can be the personal lines, it can be the commercial lines, or your special lines agriculture. All right? Integration platform, a little behind about the technology here and the communication between various applications on this side, the third-party applications, and on the right side, the core applications. Right now, we have been showing first gen, first re, and of course, first life. This can be any core application. The integration layer can speak between third-party applications and the core application. All right? This is the architecture, a little technical, but nevertheless, this is necessary for every of the glass that's there in the front to happen. And the data and the services that we offer here is basically transmission of data between third parties, external third parties, can take any of these routes. We have real-time integration through web services and different types of technology that is there. Transfer of information can be through text files, Excel, XML, name it. It's all in there. We have adapted. We have gone through the grind, learned lessons hard way, and today we are here on this. And here is our new application. This is version 6 of first gen, first life and first re. But right now what I'm showing is first gen because I have to abide to the time. Back here, first of all, enhanced user experience. It should be a modern web application. And new look and feel. And of course, build your own screens. Now, how do we do that? Look at this screen. This is your legacy system. The previous version of whatever we are doing today is on Java, latest technology. It's doing a phenomenal job, meeting volumes. But then the screens, when you look at it, they overlap on one another. What we felt was, this is typically traditional screens, and the feedback from users have come to us qualifying that you have a lot of information, but then it's torturous for us to go through all the screens. Now, how do we meet this? We went about doing these things. We gave the audience what they want. We brought the efficiency. So we had the configurable menus. We had all of these things that can be configured easily and also embed workflow, dashboards, and widgets, and of course, no trade-off and no compromise on the functionality. It remains robust. It remains up to date. All right? Here we are. This is your new look and feel. You saw the traditional screen, every window overlapping on the other, and here is just one screen which scrolls horizontally. I'm sorry, vertically. That's the way we brought up the efficiency here. All right, here we are. So these are some of those parameters which we have considered while considering change of technology or the change of look and feel. Some of them is giving you a policy snapshot, telling the user very clearly where he or she is and how much of the process is left behind. And a neat single column layout, which means you don't clutter information here and everywhere there. It's simple single column screen. And of course, a guided flow. It tells the user interactively that he or she is in such and such screen and doing this part of the work there. And at the end of the day, the progressive bars, shortcuts, all of this can be personalized. Yeah, this is at the end. The user gets a feel saying, okay, this is my total sum insured on this particular risk, and here's my premium, gets a snapshot of this. With this, he or she commits. And this is a little more snapshots. Screen Wizard is the tool which helps us in building the application or personalizing your screens. And what we could do here is, this is a little bit animated. Nevertheless, I'll go a little fast just to keep up the time. In a traditional way, we could have gone like this. Simple customizations could have been done. But over a period of time, we felt that we should give the power to the consumer. And the consumer in here is the business user. Now we said, let's do something like this. We could change the cycle here. Instead of starting with something in a traditional way, we said, let's skip the traditional way. We can do things much more better and more efficiently by kind of skipping the process rather than taking the beaten track. And there we go. Changing the screen flows. Then we could also do design your own new screens and find completely new screen, totally new screen, and then change in process as well. So there we go. And ultimately what happens is, people say, if I have to come back for a customization, should I call you and ask you for development quote? No. You can have your own user-dependent fields, have your own business rules for that, validations for that, and that's what we meant by user-dependent fields. And all of this is part of the screen wizard. So that's the wizardry that we built. Well, I'm not sure whether I held you through for this 15 or 20 minutes. Might be I've exceeded the time, but nevertheless, I felt it was necessary for me to communicate. And I guess I did. Thank you very much.